Which is the best cardio machine to burn fat or an activity? This is something I've been asked a lot, like through the years by friends and clients and athletes, and but myself, I have been wondering this as well. So I went to look for answers like, are there some studies, some research in this area? And actually, it turned out that one machine, one type of activity has not a small, but a big margin, big edge compared to everything else. You'll get the answer which machine, which activity is the best within the first 2 minutes of this video. I'll then move to explain a little bit why that is, but if you want to skip this part, you can jump to the end of the video where you get bonus content like workout templates that you can use to improve your fat burning. Here is what we'll compare, like 4 machines: treadmill, bike, elliptic, and rower. Imagine you spend the same amount of time on any of those 4 machines. So let's say 30 minutes or 60 minutes. It's same heart rate, same intensity, basically same effort, same oxygen consumption. Then you check the results, how much fat you actually burned on any of those, and you compare. And guess what? You find out that on one of those, you are able to burn 30% more fat, all things being equal. To put things into perspective, you can burn the same amount of fat in 42 minutes on this one machine as in 60 minutes on any other machine or other activities. I'm not talking about working harder. No, 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 no. Same effort, same heart rate, but shorter amount of time results in equal amount of fat burned. Treadmill or running or uphill walking, that type of activity is the king when it comes to fat burning. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't expect to be such a difference. And I'm saying this as someone who does running like lifelong. 3 times per week on average, I would be running like 2 times moderate to hard and 1 times like recovery run. And I would be arguing with my friends, not like they need to run. I would just say running really works great for me. And plus that, I like doing it. They would have ton of excuses like, if they start doing this, then their strength drops and they cannot lift that much. So that plus then someone would say it's bad for the knees and bad for ankles, and or I'm just too heavy or just don't like it and all that. But I would say, well, I do other stuff too, not just running, but it somehow feels that there is something about running. And studies and research does back me up. It's not like one study. I have looked like many studies, and it's always the same difference. So it's always about 28 to 30% difference when it comes to fat burning compared to basically everything else. Now, when it comes to indoor activity, my favorite is basically Airdyne Pro by Schwinn. And I'm not affiliated in any way. That's just the ultimate machine to burn fat or do conditioning or just do hard cardio, for me. And it's hated by basically everyone. No, there are no studies done for that machine, and even for airbags in general, there are not any studies which would give some useful data for it. But now that I think about it, the reasoning why, like looking at those studies, why treadmill is so much better than other type of cardio, I am not sure that Airdyne would have the edge over running. Maybe at best would be like second best, and all other activities would go below. But anyway, we'll see if any studies will be done. I'm not gonna skip Airdyne because there is something about it, and running and that thing as a combo is like the ultimate fat burning combo when it comes to conditioning part of my workouts. And I'm just thinking great. It works for me and it works for a lot of people that work with me. Why is it that it turned out that treadmill or running is best for fat burning? Why? There seem to be two main reasons why this might be. One thing to observe is VO2 max, and this is a measure how much oxygen do you need to consume for a certain intensity for a certain activity. And what turned out that VO2 max for all those four activities or machines, so treadmill, rowing, bike, and elliptic, VO2 max numbers were basically even out, the same. So what this means is that the same amount, same percentage of muscles were active during this activity. So how come then that one type of activity was so much better than all other activities if the same amount of muscle was active and same amount of oxygen was consumed at same intensity? Well, one reason seems to be type of muscle fibers which are dominantly active during certain activity. So we have two types of muscle fibers, fast twitch and slow twitch. Slow twitch fibers are much more efficient when it comes to burning fat, while fast twitch fibers are much more efficient for burning carbs or glycogens. And here's the deal. So, while you're running, you're primarily using your leg muscles. You are moving with your upper body a little bit, but it's not like it's contributing a lot to move forward. So, your leg muscles have a lot of slow twitch fibers, especially if you compare that with the upper body. So, if I'm rowing, I'm using my arms, my back, a lot of my upper body. And same goes if I'm on elliptical trainer again. And my upper body doesn't have a lot of slow twitch fibers. It has more fast twitch fibers, which don't burn fat as efficiently. So while I am using the same amount of muscle with each activity, I'm not able to burn fat with same efficiency. So this is one reason. Then the second reason seems to be muscles for walking and running seems to have the mechanical advantage. Partially this seems to be because of the landing phase that comes with each step, each stride, each time you like land on your feet. There is no such thing, no landing impact on your bike, rower, elliptical machine, even or airdyne or majority of other activities. The eccentric component of that landing phase allows for preloading of muscles with energy, which then gets released on your next step, next stride. Just if you imagine like each time you like fall on the floor, you get a pushback from the floor, but obviously. So if you can imagine, it's like that pushback basically allows you to get stored energy like in your leg, muscles of your leg, which then explodes, gets released next time you touch the floor. So it's like I'm trying to simplify how this works. So this allows for greater efficiency compared to no landing impact activities. Reading between the lines, if you're someone like me, this is what it means. If I improve my performance, if I adapt my body and my legs better for running, I can get even more out of it. So the more adapted I am for running, the better efficiency I'll get from running, the better fat burning effect I can get. It's not like 30% will turn into 50, but if 30% turns into 35, it's 5 more, at the same amount of time, so it adds up, especially if you're a lifelong runner like I am and you run 3 times per week for a few years, 5% add up. That find the treadmill as a machine or running is 30% more efficient for fat burning compared to basically everything else. It's kind of fascinating, I think. And now here's the thing. I'm not saying you have to specialize for running and all other activities are a waste of time when it comes to fat burning. Not at all. And I myself, I wouldn't stick to just running. Maybe the running or treadmill machine can be like your main weapon, but you still want to have other weapons. And the mix can be the best, especially if you're not used to running regularly. All of a sudden, doing more of that can lead to issues, And if you're into strength sport, running can be, can impact your strength more than other cardio activities. So if you're a powerlifter trying to lose some fat but retain your strength, for example, I wouldn't advise running. I would say better go on a bike and just, use that machine, because it will not affect your strength as negatively as running may. I myself have found the better I get in running, the weaker I get in my deadlift. Squat suffers as well, but my deadlift suffers the most, while my bench press isn't affected as much. But if I would be like using the bike and just go there, I wouldn't be able to raise my conditioning level as aggressively as through running, but I would probably retain more strength, even though the process would take a little bit longer. Then there is also running is not suitable for everyone, especially if you have a lot of weight to use. Fast-paced walking or uphill walking is basically what you're looking for. And depends on how much weight you need to lose. Even that is not something you can do like for an hour. So maybe you need to combine that with a bike, elliptical machine, or some other type of cardio which you can do for longer. Okay, so as a bonus for today's video, I'm gonna give you 3 examples. And you can use those for any type of activity or in combination with any cardio machine of your choosing. You can mix it up. I would mix it up. And this is how I'll give you those templates. So let's take a look. So there are 3 types of workouts that I'll suggest. One is hard workout, then is moderate workout, and then there is easy workout. Let's take a look of the hard session. I would suggest you do this 2 to 3 times per week, especially if you are not gonna train more than 3 times per week. You should do this at least 2 times, ideally 3 times. So if you are training 3 times per week, this means 4 days in a week you are doing nothing. So you don't have the luxury to do anything easy, because all those 4 days doing nothing is easy. Okay, so 30 minutes, go hard 2 to 3 times per week. So first few minutes, just go really easy. Like you start slow and just build up your pace. Then take it 2 minutes easy, then you go into Tabata. 8 times 20 seconds hard interval and 10 seconds either rest or super easy. So if you repeat this 8 times, it takes exactly 4 minutes. You should go 2 minutes easy after that and then go into another Tabata, but an easier version. So it's 8 times 10 seconds hard, 20 seconds rest or easy. And then just, if you have time, go for 10 minutes moderate to easy or easy. So it's a half an hour long session. You could make it longer, but better if you stick to just 30 minutes, make it hard. So you should make that count. So when it's hard, it's hard. It's not like kind of hard. It's like really hard, because it's gonna be over soon. Then there is a 60-minute session, which I called a moderate session. You shouldn't do that more than once a week. Why? You will not improve a lot by a moderate session. Your hard session is the one that you need to improve. Your moderate session is kind of in no man's land, in between. You can get some benefit from it if it's not regular session, while you need the easy session to recover from those hard ones. So you basically have to have a hard session and an easy session, and an easy session really needs to be comfortable, while the moderate session is something average folks do all the time. They skip the hard one, which basically would push them to improvement, and they skip the easy one because they are guilty for doing as little. So they basically do just all those moderate ones, and what this leads to is, after initial period, when they advance and improve, they are basically stuck at same level like forever. Anyway, so a 60 minutes moderate session once a week. You just look at this template, and when I say easy to moderate, 70% effort, I mean, you make up your own effort level, like from 50 to 60%, because below 50% you just cannot count even as an activity, and stick to it. So when it's easy, when I say easy in the template, this should be like really easy. Not like slow down. No, no, no. Slow down by such an amount that you enjoy it. You have to like go really easy. And then when I say hard, it's the opposite. You had it easy before, so that when the time for going hard comes, you don't have an excuse. So easy to hard, understand how this works. Anyway, so I'm not gonna go like through all the template. It's you can copy this, or just make a screenshot or something. Maybe I'll post this as a link or something so you can download it. But it's so easy to remember, I think, even, and the logic can be modified a little bit. You get the idea. So then you have a 45-minute easy session once or 3 times per week. And easy session, as it is, it's so easy that basically you should have absolutely no excuse why you cannot do it. I mean, you can choose whatever counts as a physical activity which will raise your heart rate a little bit to make you sweat a bit, and you just keep going like for 45 minutes. I have even given you a weekly schedule just so that you can see how you can plan those 3 types of workouts. So Monday, hard session. Let's say you go for running, like I said, your main weapon. Then Tuesday, easy or rest if you really need it. And I would rather prefer to do this on a bike than go running. Then Wednesday, you can have a hard session. Use something else than running. I would go for the air bike. My favorite would be Airdyne Pro by Schwinn. Then again, easy or rest. And you don't need to like go on a bike. You can, but you can go for a walk or a jog or something comfortable. Depends on how fit you are. Friday, hard session, main weapon, running again. So this would basically be some intervals and sprints. Saturday, moderate. Well, now you can decide to use whatever, but let's say I would go for the air bike because this is like my second best weapon to go for when it comes to burning. And Sunday, something really easy. Walk, bike, something, go in nature, relax. This is something reasonable. So what's missing here is like pure rest day, do nothing. I am giving you an option to take one, but you really shouldn't need one because, like I said, you have the freedom to make that easy session as easy as it needs to be for you to be out of excuse why not to do it. You have to get used to being active daily, which doesn't mean you have to work hard every day, but you have to be moving every day. And as soon as you get this, that this is nothing radical, this is something which should be a minimum. Don't compare yourself why others do less and why this would be radical. No, no, no. You raise your standards. And then the next time you'll get asked, so what do you think I should do? Which exercise, well, it's how you live. And this is the way how you burn a lot of fat throughout the week. I'm not even talking about diet, but just this. And if you would be throwing out your worst offender when it comes to eating, like just one, and leave everything else the same, unless you're like really crazy when it comes to eating, if you would just fix one bad habit and add this weekly schedule, you would be like above average. Like there is no other outcome. Then when it comes to adding strength and working your whole body and everything else, and improving your food even further, well, yeah, obviously, then you get like being actually genuinely super fit, like high level. But this is what it takes. It's not about dieting. No, it's about how you live. You should look fit because you are fit, not because you are trying to present yourself as fit, but you are not really. So this is what I would suggest. Just use this as a base. It's not like you have to do this like forever. I'm just giving a weekly example which you can build on and modify, something you can easily start with without thinking too much about it. And it can be highly effective, even as it is. Feel free to comment, give me some feedback. You can also disagree, that's fine. It's not like I know all, and I can be wrong as well, but I give you all the information in good faith. And basically, I'm advocating only for things which I myself have done and found to work, not just for me, but for those who I have worked with. And I'm still learning like everyone else. I wish you a good day. You are welcome to subscribe, share, like. But if I haven't earned your trust yet, I'll do my best to do so in my next videos.